What's up? What is up? How is everyone doing? I figured we'd go live a little bit before the Spawncast just to say what's up. Hope everyone is doing well. We got Scout in the chat, Matt Morgan, Savage Gamer, Golden, Babe, Hustle Motivate, Hayden, Ricardo, Paladin, David, Christian, Mad Action, No Bucks, Wholesome Neckbeard, Ryan Carr Johnson, Nocturnal, Gintoki. Everyone's up in here. Hope everyone is doing well. No, it's just me. It's just me. Just a pre-show before the Spawncast. What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone is doing good. Yeah, that Fester's Quest, man. I get it graded. Get it fucking graded right now. And then, you know, it'll be worth a ton of money. Because evidently that's what we do now. That is what we do. We get old video games that are, there's a million copies of them out there, and we sell them because they're sealed and they're in a little acrylic box. Like, I don't understand how nobody thinks this is weird. I don't understand how nobody thinks that there's something weird happening with this, because there clearly is. And it makes no damn sense. What's up, Jamar? What's up, Pixelated? Dean, Shinin, Bexons. You know, I don't really hate Fester's Quest. I know a lot of people do, but I think Fester's Quest is, like, okay. You know, it's not the greatest game in the world or anything like that, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I mean, it looks good. The music is good. It's cool, Brett. I don't know why Nightbot goes crazy. What's up, Zero? What's up, John? What's up, Matt? Yeah, like these plastic boxes are worth their weight in gold. Or not plastic, you know, hard plastic. Ooh, it's a hard plastic. Who cares? What is my least favorite Nintendo published Switch game? ARMS? I would say ARMS, because I didn't play Animal Crossing because I didn't want to. It didn't look like they really advanced the game. So I would say ARMS, because I actually played ARMS and I just didn't really like it. You love Fester's Quest? I mean, you should. It's not that bad. What's up, Coop? What should you eat, Crystal or Checkers? I mean, Checkers is better quality than Crystal. Crystal is for, like, when you, like, smoked a lot of weed. I remember when I was, like, 16. I was, like, 16, and I was in Georgia visiting a buddy of mine, and we were just gone. We were at this party, and we were just gone, and, like, those little shitty cheap Crystals burgers, like, we just got like 1 million of those and just ate them. It was a good time. I'm a Knicks bandwagoner. Right. I'm a Knicks bandwagoner. I don't know anything about John Starks, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason, Larry Johnson. I don't know anything about Jeff Van Gundy. I don't know anything about Pat Riley. I don't know anything about that. You are 100% correct. I am a Knicks bandwagoner. Thank you, Jamar, for subscribing. What's up, Minister of Gaming? Am I going to end up getting Ys 9? Probably not on the Switch. Because that Switch version looks very suspect from what I've seen. It doesn't look very good. Yes, I have hair. Everyone said, hey, you bald. No, I have hair. I like hats. I've worn hats since I was a friggin' kid. I mean, if you want to go older, Mark Jackson, Walt Clyde Frazier, Earl Monroe, Earl of Pearl. Like, come on. I have a Grandmama t-shirt somewhere. What's up, Dave? What's up, Corey? Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask? Ocarina of Time. I actually don't really like Majora's Mask all that much. Like, I think it's a good game because the base game is essentially Ocarina of Time, and I think the story is interesting because it's kind of dark. But as far as, like, actual gameplay is concerned, I don't like time loop mechanics and time constraints in my game. Like, just let me play the freaking game. So, I would definitely say Ocarina. No, it's just it's the layout of this thing. I wasn't born July 19th, 1984. I wish I could change it, but I don't know how to. It's like a pre-done layout. Doc Rivers is a better player than a coach. Oof. I don't think he's a good coach. Do I think Retromania is getting more players? I do. I know they're getting more characters in the game because they already have the 3, James Storm, Chris Bay, and Mr. Hughes that are coming. So that'll be cool. Put on my headphones. Twilight Princess is the best Zelda in your opinion? I mean, it's good. It's really good. I don't know if it's the best. You can put it up there, though, because I played through it on the Wii, and then I played through it again on the Wii U. I still had a really good time with it. Myself and Sid Alpha inspire me to move back to trying content creation again. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man, do it. The whole thing about making content is like, you just gotta have fun with it. You know, if you're not having fun with it, then it loses its luster. It loses, you know, it loses meaning. What's up, Marvino? Thank you for subscribing. Do I strictly watch basketball or do I watch other sports? I watch other sports. I watch football. Watch a little baseball here and there, but I don't follow it like I do basketball. Like, I'll watch football. I'll see what the Giants are doing, but I definitely I definitely prefer the NBA. What is the ham of the week? I think you mean meat of the week. We ate a lot of chicken this week. I actually got some chicken tenders today. How does it feel to be famous? I wouldn't know. I'm not famous. I'm just a random person on the internet. Planning on getting a Switch. What games would you recommend? I mean, you definitely have to get Super Mario Odyssey, because I think that's my favorite Switch game still. Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, pretty much just start out with the bangers and then worry about the other stuff as you go along. Yeah, Baldo looks dope, man. Baldo is a game that I've been watching ever since it was first announced, and I really liked what I saw from it. And then it sort of disappeared, you know? But I'm glad. Thank you for subscribing, Mario. I'm definitely glad that it is coming, and it's coming so soon. Skyward Sword Wind Waker. All right, let's calm down a little bit. What's up, D? RGT, if you had a German suplex someone from the Spawncast, who would it be? I want to go with someone light. I don't know who the lightest person is, though. I'd say John, just for the hell of it. I should make a basketball channel. I should. It's tough, though. It's a tough niche to get into. Eberk Ham? I've never had that. Do I think the AEW game will outsell WWE 2K23? Maybe. It depends. I mean, WWE 2K22 is supposed to come out this year, right? Have we seen anything from that game? Have we heard anything from that game? Like, that game is feeling very suspect to me. All we've seen is like motion capture and like a little bit of a teaser. So I think it's gonna be the same old shit with 2K22. So I don't see it doing that well. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate that. Minister, appreciate that. Have I played Chris Tales? Not yet. It is on my list of things to do. I do like the way that game looks. Do I think the Suns will do well this upcoming off season or this upcoming season? That's tough. I really feel like the Suns overpaid on Chris Paul. That's just my opinion. You could like it, you could dislike it, but it's hard. Like, the dude is older. He's very injury prone, and you're giving him a big bag. And like, yeah, he brought your team to the finals, but you know, a lot of that was other players that were around him getting better because of his guidance. But you're paying him, you know, all-star caliber stuff. The Messenger is a great game. This click is clearly the lighter of the... I feel like if I suplex misclick, though, I would get in trouble. Is the Spawncast deliberately avoiding talking about the Amico? No, I think we're going to talk about it tonight since it got delayed again. Are the Bulls now better than the Knicks? I need to see chemistry. I think they overpaid on DeRozan. I mean, because the Bulls were supposed to be good last year when they did all their trades at the trade deadline, and then they didn't even make the playoffs. So I need to see chemistry. Is the AEW game coming to the Switch? Supposedly. Balan Wonderworld is not a great game. AEW have quite a bit riding on that game by the sound of things. I think it'll be great. Yeah, I mean, they have the pedigree. They have people who play video games working on it. Hold on, let me read that. Rachel with the $5 donation. What's your favorite retro game on the Super Nintendo or SNES? Now, the Super Nintendo is an interesting console to me because I did not have that growing up. I had a Sega Genesis. So a lot of the classic games I didn't play until much later on in life. Like the Super Metroids, A Link to the Past. I didn't play those till I was in my early 20s. I would say my favorite game, though, from then and now has to be Turtles in Time. Just because, like, when you play Turtles in Time, the arcade version of the game, it's not as good as the Super Nintendo version. Like, no, it's not as good. Like, the Super Nintendo version offers a lot more, and it still retains that arcade feeling. So I definitely think Turtles in Time is my favorite game on there because it's the game that you can pick up and play. You can play it with your friends, and it never gets boring. Like, it's always just so much fun. The music is great. The character sprites are great. So I definitely enjoy it. I definitely think that's the game. Do I think NBA 2K for Switch this year will have 60 frames per second? No. I think they're going to get lazy with that game. Do I play Cuphead? I have played Cuphead. I wasn't big on He-Man Carnage. Like, it wasn't something I watched when I grew up, so I haven't watched the reboot. Sorry if I missed your questions. I'm trying here. I'm trying. D-Rose, baby. D-Rose. Have I tried remote play for my PlayStation 5 on my phone yet? No, because I have nothing to play on my PlayStation 5. I'm weird. I like to, when it comes to PlayStation consoles, I usually buy them for the exclusives. Returnal doesn't interest me. Ghost isn't out yet. And I've already beaten Ratchet, and I don't really feel inclined to go back and play it again. I actually have been playing the Ascent and the Back for Blood beta on the Xbox today. NXT is going down the shitter. That's really what's going on with NXT. NXT is going down the shitter. Anyone who says otherwise is crazy, because there's obviously something bigger happening there. You axe people who are literally just champions. You axe people who were contending for championships, like Mercedes Martinez. You axe people who are in the middle of feuds and in stables. That doesn't make sense. Thoughts on Breath of the Wild 2 getting delayed? I mean, it's not a surprise. It never really had a concrete release date. 2021 just kind of made sense to a lot of people because there isn't that big holiday game. I guess the big holiday game is now Metroid. I think it'll come sooner rather than later, though. I don't think it's going to be very far into 2022 when we see that game. Super Game Boy or GBA player? Well, I mean, one is for Game Boy Advance and one is for Game Boy. I mean, you can do Game Boy. I'm the GBA player. I will say Super Game Boy because it actually adds in stuff to games. It adds in color. You know, some games have, like, Space Invaders. There's, like, a full version that utilizes the power of the Super Nintendo in order to play it. And that's the only way to play it. So, like, little things like that, I think, make the game, Super Game Boy, like, special. Like, that's when Nintendo was, like, really creative. And, I mean, they still are to some extent. But, I mean, more so creative on the hardware side of things. You know, things like that. Things like the N64 expansion pack. The 64DD, which, of course, never came out here, but it came out in Japan. So what could have been? You know, what could have been? The Ascent is okay. I don't hate the Ascent. I think it's all right. I think it's a little challenging, but I think I missed something in the tutorial. Sup, Farman? Sup, Matt? UK Mike, you should watch Contra Returns in real life. Okay, I'll check it out. Am I gonna watch the Star Series Heels? Seems right up your alley. Now to me, that sounds like a show about like women's high heels. But I might check it out because it might be up my alley, evidently. Am I excited for Maiden of Blackwater? Yes, Maiden of Blackwater was one of my favorite Wii U games. I think it was an absolutely fantastic horror game that genuinely could scare you at times. And, you know, we really haven't, so many horror games now just aren't scary. Resident Evil 8 was not scary whatsoever. There was nothing scary about the game. I don't care what anyone says. It was not a scary game. I never jumped in the game. I mean, there were moments where it was like kind of tense, but like, even like Lady D, who was supposed to be like this nemesis-like creature that is chasing you down, she sucked. She sucked. She never caught me. Never. I never felt like, oh my God, she's gonna catch me and I'm gonna die. Like, yeah, that's what we just talked about, Goyo. The Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater for the Switch. Like I said, it came out on the Wii U. It does suck that they're only doing a physical release in Japan, though. Like, I don't get that. I think they should have done a limited US run as well. Do I think PUBG or PUBG Mobile has a chance to land on the Switch? Yeah, I'm kind of surprised PUBG isn't on there, especially with Fortnite on there. You would think that a game like that, they want it to be on as many platforms as possible. So I'm not quite sure why it's not on there. It's obviously a game that could run on it. But also, I mean, isn't PUBG kind of slowing down, losing its luster a bit? I remember Labo VR. Am I disappointed with the Switch OLED considering how good they could have upgraded their system like the Steam Deck? That's a good lineup, Toxic. I mean, yes and no. It's a weird decision because of the fact that portability isn't the problem with the Switch. You already have a Switch Lite. You already have a standard Switch. Home console side is what people want to see improved more so than the handheld side of things. So, I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of theories out there. I've followed some of them. Some of them are just a little too crazy for me. But I do think it's a weird decision. But I do think it'll be fun. Pixelated Pigeon with the $5 dono. I appreciate you. No message? No message? Just make sure. Make sure. No message. Appreciate you, Pixelated Pigeon. Let me try to catch up here. Scariest game ever. I mean, the Outlast games are pretty scary, but they rely on jump scares. The old Clock Tower games were pretty scary, just because of the clunky controls. It depends, because I mean, Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil scared the shit out of me when I was like 12 or 13, and I played it for the first time. But as you get older, you kind of don't get scared of as much stuff earlier. Thoughts on the Series S? It's a cool system. I prefer to have physical stuff, or at least have the option of it, but I think the Series S is definitely a very good value system. Do I plan on getting some of my gaming collection graded? No, never. It's stupid. You have to pay money to get it graded. And then you have to wait literally months. And if you want it sooner, you have to pay more money for an express thing. No, the whole thing is a fucking scam. Really, Travis? You're not going to get me on that. Come on. Am I planning on going to too many games at Spawn and the rest? Yes and no. I'm trying to buy a house right now, and so I don't want to be like, hey, I'm going to this convention, and then come October when it is, I'm stuck signing papers or something, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I haven't committed yet. I do plan on going. Hopefully everything goes the way I expect it to, but you never know, so I don't want to commit quite yet. Thank you, Pixelated Pigeon. I appreciate it. Jason, if you click the Streamlabs link right there, it says donate here. You can throw something this way if you feel so inclined. If not, hey, it's all good, brother. This channel is actually not monetized. So I have to get like enough view time on it. So that's why these live streams help. Do you think Metroid Dread could make or break the franchise? Not only does it have to live up to its own hype, but it will be compared to the hundreds of Metroidvanias on the market today. I don't think it's make or break because you still have Metroid Prime 4. Now, as far as 2D Metroids are concerned, you could definitely make a case for that. I still think the game's going to be successful. If Metroid Dread manages to sell 2.5 million, that is a success for Metroid. Especially when you look at the past few Metroid games that have released that haven't come close to sniffing that number. They are selling the land dock separately. Centurion, Greg. Silent Hill 4 had those monkeys. Those monkeys were weird. They go and like follow you around and shit. I like that game though. Oh, Christian or Matt Hardy? I'll go with Christian. I like his overall body of work better. How many revisions do I think the Switch will have before it becomes a totally different system? Depends. I mean, if they are planning on this being up to a 10-year system, I don't think you can just, you know, just do the OLED and then call it a day. I think you do have to do something else. So, I mean, there's still rumors about something happening next year for 2023. I don't know. I've just kind of been avoiding them. What's the rarest, most expensive game in my collection? It's kind of a tie between Spider-Man Web of Fire on the 32X and Panzer Dragoon Saga on the Sega Saturn. They both go for about $1,500. It's not going to sell 3 mil. It's not. I'm telling you. Will I be buying Skatebird? Yes. I am looking forward to Skatebird. What was my most recent regular job? I was in the, thank you for subscribing, Blue Knight. I was in the pharmacy industry. I was a certified pharmacy technician for 11 years. About 11 years. Have I ever cried when playing a game? No. And people give me shit for that, but it's like I haven't. The only movie I ever almost got sad at and got a little misty-eyed was what the hell was that? Sweet November? Was that the name of it? I'm gonna have to look this up now. Yes, Sweet November with Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron. I got a little bit sad at the ending because the girl was like did the dude dirty. Do I think Final Fantasy VII would be a good cartoon on Nickelodeon? It could be. That Panzer I did get as a gift from a man named Milton, who I have met twice at conventions. Very amazing man. I gave him a big hug every time I see him. Did I watch the Locks and Dipset battle? I did. I was definitely a little bit disappointed. I knew the Locks would come out and be very energetic. I was hopeful that Dipset would be a little bit better. Like Cameron got into it, but like Jules and Jim Jones, it was like 2 old men who just didn't give a shit. How does it feel that I'm in my mid-40s? I'm not in my mid-40s. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm in my mid-30s. Get that Spider-Man graded and join the pyramid scheme. Never. Jason with a $10 donation. Do you think the next Kingdom Hearts might have Marvel in it or The Simpsons in it? Now that's something to really think about. Because, of course, Disney owns Marvel and Disney owns The Simpsons. You know, there's a ton of stuff they could do with Kingdom Hearts. You could have X-Men in there. You could have The Simpsons in there. You could have all sorts of cool stuff. I would like that. I would like that a lot. And I think it would be good for the franchise because, like, how many fucking times can you have, like, Mickey and Donald and stuff? Like, the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3 is what made that game attractive to me. Now, granted, I still haven't played it yet. But that's what sort of made, and thank you for the $10, Jason. I sincerely appreciate that. That's what made that game interesting to me. That's what made me look at this game and be like, oh, okay, they're doing something a little bit different here. Because the dichotomy of the worlds is so, you know, a stark contrast. Am I getting the Steam Deck? I'm trying. Do I think Wind Waker is coming to the Switch? I do. I definitely do. If it's not announced this year, it'll come out next year. I really feel like you're gonna get a Wind Waker and Twilight Princess double pack because both of those games are already done in HD. They released on the Wii U. I think they just didn't want Skyward Sword sales to be cannibalized by charging $60 for that and then $60 for a Zelda, a Twilight Princess Wind Waker combo. But I mean, those games are already done in HD. You literally don't have to do anything but port them over to the Switch. The controls, it wouldn't be a big deal. I like this community too, Carnage. I did not watch the Fortnite Ariana Grande concert. I've never even listened to Ariana Grande. Yeah, I'm like as old as Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I'm in there sort of thing. That's not that old. Slim X Soda with a $5 donation. Been a sub for a few years now. Big OJ fan as well. About a Miss Lowry in Toronto. Really just just here to say I can't wait to watch you play Balan. See you at the Spawncast RGT. I'm not playing Balan. So please, just get that out of your minds. We have to move on. It's not going down. I am everyone's dad. What about a Mario football game? Toads, Koopas, Goombas, etc. being linemen. Yeah, I mean, you could make any Mario sports game. They proved it with basketball. Like, that game was fun as hell. How do I feel about the NXT cuts today? It's obvious. I mean, the writing's on the wall with NXT. They're gonna blow it up. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. They're gonna blow it up. It's going to be a place for people who don't know how to wrestle. It'll probably get moved to Peacock as an exclusive thing, and it won't be that third pillar like they tried to make it out to be, which it never really should have been in the first place. Because you're essentially competing with yourself. You're putting out a product that's similar to independent wrestling, which is a stark contrast to the sports entertainment that WWE provides, and it never made sense to me. I mean, we all know why they did it, but I did see the tweet about Marvel vs. Capcom too. That the whole thing about that is everyone would like to make a new Marvel vs. Capcom, but Marvel is not its own entity anymore. Marvel is owned by Disney, so you got to go through Disney now. You know, it definitely makes things very harder. Yeah, I definitely think the Game Boy is coming this fall. It makes too much sense. Deadites Lord, thank you for subscribing. When's my OnlyFans going up? Maybe. Damn, we got 271 in the house. Very impressive. Doge is back at a quarter. I still have a little bit of Doge. I mean, a very little bit of Doge. Now I'm curious. Crypto in general is up. That looks pretty nice to me. Ethereum. All right, very nice. Thank you for letting me know that. Will I be getting the Steam Deck? I'm trying to. I haven't. Ace, thank you for subscribing. I'm trying to. Have I played Halo Infinite? I didn't get in the beta. I'm sure they're going to do another beta before it drops, though. Did I hear Braun Strowman is rumored to come back to WWE? It wouldn't surprise me. It honestly wouldn't surprise me. What is my favorite installment of Final Fantasy? That's a good question. Because I used to, not understand 7. But since playing through the original and playing through the remake again, I've definitely grown an appreciation for it. I liked 8. 3, which was 6 on the Super Nintendo. It's hard for me to say. But I would say those are, the Final Fantasy 3/6, 7, and 8. Newer ones I never really got super into. Am I gonna try that Nickelodeon Smash game? Maybe. I might check it out. Nintendo Switch Online is dead to me. Don't play online much. I mean, I don't blame you. Do I think that Adam Cole will leave WWE? Rumor has it that he hasn't re-signed a contract and might go to AEW. Well, he has a lot of reasons to go to AEW because his girlfriend / fiance is there, Britt Baker. A lot of his friends are there, obviously. And, you know, he has all the potential in the world. The problem is, I think WWE might offer him a big bag to stick around. And I don't think anyone could blame him for securing a bag with that situation because, I mean, it would just make sense. Like, you know, you got to go where the money is. And if they're going to give you a bunch of money and put you in a decent spot, which you would have to sort of get in writing, and then it doesn't really matter because they could fire you anyways. And then they did fire Bobby Fish, who he was friends with. I don't know. Your coworker got 4,000 Ethereum when it was less than a penny. Now he's a millionaire. Yeah, damn right he is. Snowy Taco, thank you for subscribing. Playdates. I think the Playdate is interesting, but I'm not that interested in it. Not interested enough to buy one at the price that it's at. What game am I looking forward to the rest of the year? The most forward to? I would say it's a tie between Halo Infinite and Metroid Dread. I think both of those games are gonna definitely tickle my fancy. AEW or current WWE? Oh, AEW by far. Metroid Prime 4 news at the next Nintendo Direct? I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna hear about Metroid Prime 4 until after Dread is out, and the Direct will be in September, and Dread doesn't come out until October. How do I think Forever Entertainment will do on the House of the Dead remake? They get a lot of shit, but I think they're going to do good. Because what we saw already looked good, I thought. And, I mean, it's not... The whole thing that with House of the Dead is it boils down to the controls. They have to do the controls good. If the controls suck in the game, then the game itself is going to be ruined. I think as long as they nail down the controls and have different types of control schemes, I think it'll be good. Have I pre-ordered Diablo 2 Resurrected yet? No. I'm not that huge into Diablo. I might check it out to talk about it in a video, but... As someone who doesn't have a Switch and wants one, how does Switch Online work, or how does it not work? I mean, it's just very basic. Like, if you've been playing video games for a long time, and you've seen sort of the rise of online gaming, you would know that Nintendo has always been a little bit behind the cusp. And it definitely shows with Switch Online. Slopes with the $5 donation. Do I secretly love Death Stranding, or do I pretend to hate it for clicks? We can keep the truth between us. I understand the grind is real. I won't judge you. No, I don't like Death Stranding. I would not have put... If I loved the game, I'd have finished the game. I didn't finish the game. I played it for 15 hours, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. I don't want this anymore. I don't like walking around. The story is... weird. The gameplay to me is not fun. And thank you for the $5 dono, Slopes. I don't like that game. And it's funny because I think the director's cut version, you could almost call it like the fun version of the game because they added in more stuff to it. But it's like, why the fuck wasn't this in there in the first place? Like, this is stuff that should have been in the game. Like, more combat? No shit. No shit. People don't want to walk around carrying packages. But I do understand why people do like the game because it's so different. But no, I can't. No. No, I can't. Alright, let me try to catch up here. The first video I ever saw of you made me hate you, but now you're one of my favorite YouTubers. I get that a lot. I could be very divisive as well. Yeah, but no. How do I feel about Kojima's Silent Hills game that was canceled? 300 people in the house. Thank you guys so much. It sucks because I always make this, and there's obviously a lot of wrestling people in here. Console gamer, yes, you are going to love that game. $8, great deal. The problem is with Kojima is the problem with Vince Russo. Thank you for subscribing, No Call, No Show. I think Vince Russo has some good ideas. I think Hideo Kojima has some good ideas. The problem is when you take someone with a very creative mind and you just say, okay, here's money, go do whatever the fuck you want. That's where you get a problem, because they need someone to reel it in. When Vince Russo was good was when he was writing for Vince McMahon. And, you know, you could say whatever about Vince McMahon, but Vince McMahon, Russo would come to an idea with Vince McMahon, and if McMahon didn't like it, it would get axed, or it would get, you know, changed up a little bit. They would, you know, tone it down a little bit. And it's the same fucking thing with Kojima. When you look at Kojima when he was great, what were the games that came out? The Metal Gear games, all right? And think of those Metal Gear games and how good they were. You know Kojima wanted to do some more batshit crazy stuff in the game, because you look at the characters, you look at characters like Vamp, you look at characters like Fortune, you look at characters like Colonel Volgin, you look at characters like The Fear. Like, these characters were based on some weird shit, but Konami would be like, okay, you know, maybe tone it down a little bit to make it a great video game. And then you just give Kojima the license to do whatever the fuck he wants, and then you end up with Death Stranding, a game where you walk around, and Jeff Keighley's in the game for some reason. I don't get it. I don't get it. No, it's not, Agent. Am I getting the Steam Deck? Trying to. Are scalpers going to be as much of a problem with the Switch OLED as they are with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X? I will say no. There will be some scalping. There's already been scalping on it, but I'll say in general no, because of the fact that I think there's going to be a lot ready. You know, there's already been way more pre-orders for this than we saw with the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. So, you know, there's been more opportunities to get it. I don't know why people are paying scalping prices anyways. Zach, thanks for subscribing. AEW is giving me a great birthday present with All Out on September 5th. I think MJF's going to win, because I think Jericho's going bye-bye for a while. He's got a concert tour coming up, too. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate that. Who's better, Vince Russo or Jim Cornette? I'm not a huge Jim Cornette fan. I think Jim Cornette is like someone who like sniffs his own farts. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those dudes. Like, what the fuck did he ever do? Smoky Mountain? Okay, why didn't Smoky Mountain make money? Why did Smoky Mountain get purged? Why did nobody stay in Smoky Mountain? Because obviously it sucked to work there, and motherfuckers weren't making money, and they weren't drawing big gates. Like, I think he does have some good ideas, but I don't think he's this fucking visionary like he thinks he is. I mean, most of his time of relevance was when he worked for the WWF, and he, you know, was managing Yokozuna and Owen Hart. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him. Cyber TDM with a $5 donation. Just a $5 holla. Keep up the excellent content. Thank you, dude. I sincerely appreciate that. Do I like Jericho's band? Fozzy? I think they're pretty good. I mean, Judas is a very catchy song. Yeah, I would say I like them. Worst Switch game, WWE 2K19. Even the bad indie games that I play still aren't as bad as WWE 2K19, because WWE 2K19 had a budget. It was a game that was supposed, or was it 2K18? I don't know. Whichever WWE 2K game came out on the Switch. Do I watch Up, Up, Down, Down? Occasionally. Xavier Woods and all those dudes. Do I see the current prices on Pokemon DS games? Yeah, they're crazy. That's why I'm about to get rid of my Pokemon White, because I didn't even remember I had it. Steak or lasagna? Whew. Whew. They're killing me with that. Fuck. Steak, I think. I'll say steak. Yeah, 2K18. Spawncast starts at 9 Eastern. 9 Eastern-ish. Stuck Mojo had DDP and Raven in a music video. You remember that? Best pizza style? Come on! New York! That's the only one that matters. What am I playing tonight? I played some of the Ascent and the Back 4 Blood beta. The Back 4 Blood beta is fun, but it's not that fun. Like, I mean, it's coming out on Game Pass, so I'll check it out, but it still feels like a Left 4 Dead. I really don't like the player versus player stuff. I think that's kind of shitty. Zach, I only have a Pokemon White. When's the last time I turned on my Wii? Pretty recently. I've been playing Scarface on it. Other than Balan, what is one game you have never played and refused to play? That's an interesting... Pokemon Sword and Shield. I refuse to play that. I don't need to play that game. I don't need to play it. There's nothing there for me. If the next WWE 2K22 came to Switch, but was a cloud version only, would I buy it? I might, just to check it out. But I mean, like I said, the base game itself looks to be problematic. If you can't fold it as a early pizza, exactly. Izzy, I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, there's some scamming going on. Check out the video, because I kind of rake WADA and Heritage and all those companies over the coals. Do I play Dead by Daylight? I tried to. I didn't like it that much. How good do I think the Dead Space remake will be? It's EA. I'm a little bit worried. Man, the people, I hope you keep this format and they'll start charging us to talk to you on your live. Dope channel. Chaz, I mean, I will try to answer as many free questions as I can, but if someone is kind enough to donate, obviously, you got to kind of stop what you're doing and acknowledge them. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of this channel, just to sort of hang out. Back 4 Blood feels kind of soulless. Yeah, I kind of agree. Have I ever played either of the Manhunt games? I've played both of the Manhunt games. And I enjoy them. I mean, they're sadistic, but I am a well-adjusted individual who can be like, hey, this isn't real life. I'm not gonna go suffocate someone, you know what I'm saying? Scotty, yeah, Skyward Sword, if you're playing it on the Switch, it's a much better experience than it was on the Wii U. I mean, on the Wii. How are the arcade one-up machines? Which one is your favorite? I like the Turtles one the best. Maybe. Yeah, I would say the Turtles one, because it's 4-player. But like the new ones coming out, it's like, damn, I kind of want the X-Men one. Damn, I kind of want the Simpsons one. Damn, I want the Terminator 2 one. Like, now they're really getting into that 90s nostalgia, which is what I think they needed to focus on to begin with. Like, Galaga, people really, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because that was before my time period. But, yeah. What obscure older game would I like ported to the Switch? Obscure 2. The Aftermath. No, do both obscure games. Do Obscure 1 and Obscure 2, The Aftermath. I love those games. Super underrated survival horror games. And they have multiplayer. Am I into Tetris 99? I never really, like, understood it. Like, I play it. I've played it, but I never really understood, like, what the fuck I was doing. Like, I was just playing it as, like, Tetris. I have tried Chicago style. Thank you, Zach. What's a good, cheap game? What platform? You gotta give me a platform on this. Am I friends with Scat the Waz? Yeah, I know Scott. We've talked before. He's a good dude. What are my thoughts on the new Halo gameplay? I'm really looking forward to that game. I wish I could have gotten in and gotten to play it myself, which I didn't get a chance to do, so that sucks. But I definitely am looking forward to playing it. A new Sega console would be cool, but it's kind of like, is there room for it anymore? You know, Sega isn't the same company that they were, you know, in 99 with the Dreamcast, 94 with the Saturn. So what's my most anticipated game coming on the Switch in October? I mean, it's Metroid Dread. I like Metroid. I don't understand why people think I don't like Metroid. I love Metroid. Obscure is an actual game. Yeah. Obscure and Obscure 2. They're survival horror games. Obscure 1, you play as high schoolers. Obscure 2, you play as the same kids in college. Really underrated games. Very expensive now, though. The original Obscure is very expensive on the PS2 and the Xbox. Opinion on Knockout City. I tried the beta. It was okay, but I don't know. Those styles of games is kind of, I don't know. They don't really hit with me sometimes. What's the one game that should come to the arcade one up next? House of the Dead. House of the Dead. No, I'm going to take that back. Daytona. Daytona USA. Because there's not, like, what's the racing game? They got Outrun? Come on, Outrun? I played Outrun at the laundromat when I was a kid. I remember me and my mom going to the laundromat, and I would play Outrun there. And, like, Outrun's okay. I'm not going to diss it too much. But Daytona USA is still a game that looks, plays, and sounds great. And if you give me Daytona USA, like, you really open up the doors for arcade racers. I would love a House of the Dead, but I would really love a Daytona USA. And a sit down. Like, you could do the stand up, but I want the sit down. I do like Metroid. What's a good cheap Nintendo Switch game? If you don't own Lego City Undercover, Lego City Undercover, according to Becca's Live, is available for $5.99 right now. So you need to get up on that game because it's really good. Nick with a $1 donation. Speaking of the Dreamcast, will Sega release a Dreamcast Mini? It's something that would make sense. The Dreamcast is not super hard to emulate. Sega has rights to a lot of the really good games on there. I don't understand why it's not a thing, especially with the success of the Genesis Mini. I think it would make perfect sense for them to do a Dreamcast Mini because a lot of, I mean, you got your Sonic Adventures. Yes, they haven't held up all that great, but they're still fun. You got your Crazy Taxi. You got your Jet Set Radio. You got, I mean, you can put like Zombies Revenge on there. You could do Dynamite Cop on there. Like, there's so many games to choose from. Virtua Fighter 3 TB. Have I ever played Biofreaks for the N64? I have, but it's been a very long time. I remember that it was just like all the characters were really weird. Like, there weren't like humans or like, they were just like weird creatures. Yeah, that's cool, Centurion, no problem. Do I ever anticipate full backwards compatibility coming to the PlayStation? No, I don't. Yeah, where the hell is the Daytona USA 2 port? You put Daytona USA, excuse me. You put Daytona, okay, you put Virtua Racing on there, you put Daytona USA and Daytona USA 2 on that cabinet, sit down with the design for Daytona USA, and it's perfect. It is perfect. I will spend whatever stupid amount of money Arcade 1UP wants. What console do I have the biggest game collection for? I would say the Switch now. Maybe the Genesis in second. I would say the Switch now. Why do I not think 3 million copies? Because it's never sold 3 million copies. Metroid, no Metroid game has ever sold over 3 million. Oh yeah, Shenmue has to be on it too. Put, you can put like Flag to Flag on there. Sega GT. You gotta put some fighting games on there. Maybe try to get, oh, Power Stone. You gotta put Power Stone on there. Alex, thank you for subscribing. Did I order a play date? I did not. What's up, Castlemania? Yeah, the play date looks cool, but I just don't think it's something that I would be... It's not something I would use. It's not something I would even really want to make a video on because it's just kind of weird. Red Faction 2, that would be cool. We got the, what was that, Red Faction Remastered game. Big N Gamer, thank you for subscribing. Do I think Devil's Third would sell? Yeah, you got, well, Seaman you would have to have the microphone for. I don't know if they'd want to do that. What's up, Erico? Hope Brazil is going well. Shenmue wanted to on Switch when. Look, okay, they said that they were going to look into it. It makes the most sense to put Shenmue on the Nintendo Switch because it's portable Shenmue, if they have not done it. I don't know what, I don't know. I don't understand Sega. Trust me. Virtua Tennis on an arcade one-up? I would want Virtua Tennis on the Dreamcast Mini. Virtua Tennis is a super fun game. Do I think Devil's Third would sell well if they ported it? No. I really don't. Because Devil's Third, the problem with Devil's Third is not necessarily the concept of the game, it was the execution of the game. The execution was just not good. Other M replay? Other M is a great game. I don't care what anyone says. Kitsune with a $10 dono. Any random story to tell? Thanks for the pre-show. Random story. I got one that's not like too bad, but it is kind of funny. So I was living at this townhouse with my buddy, and the neighbor, like we had people on both sides of us, but like we knew the people on the, I guess it would be the right hand side, but the left hand side, the guy he worked at a restaurant, and he ended up moving. It was a guy who was dating some girl who had like a kid and stuff. They were buying a house, but he lived in that townhouse by himself. So he's a real quiet guy, you know, we liked him, very nice. And then he moved out, and then like a couple weeks later, like we're sitting at the house and we see this moving truck pull up, and like 4 or 5 like kids in like their early 20s hop out. And I'm like, oh man, these motherfuckers, they're gonna be loud, they're gonna be obnoxious. I was like 30 at the time, so this was like, you know, 6 years ago. And so I'm like, oh, we gotta do something. And my buddy's like, yeah. I was like, we gotta scare them. We gotta show them, you know, what's the deal. Like they're not gonna try to do no shit on us. So my buddy had a Master Sword replica, like a full-size Master Sword replica with an actual blade on it. And so they were in their little back patio area after unmoving some stuff, and I was like, all right, so here's the deal. We're gonna go out there, we're gonna smoke a cigarette, and I'm gonna come around the corner with the sword and just kind of act a little bit crazy and like see what they do, you know, see how they react. Because if we're gonna have problems, you know, problems will be right off the jump. And I got a sword in my hand, so, you know, who gives a fuck? So we go out there, and like, I remember it was cold as hell. I had like a hoodie on, a jacket on, sweatshirt, sweatpants on. And I go out there, and like, they're just staring at me, and I'm just like staring at them with the Master Sword, just like waving it back and forth, smoking a cigarette, like twirling it in my hand and shit. And then one of the kids was like, oh, is that the Master Sword from The Legend of Zelda? I was like, all right, you motherfuckers are cool. I don't have to threaten you anymore. What do I think? I hope that story was good. What do I think about Sonic Colors Ultimate? I'm looking forward to Sonic Colors Ultimate. I think Sonic Colors is a great game. It had a great theme song. So I'm looking forward to it. Does extensive modding make a PlayStation Classic worth it? I think so. I think so. You could do a lot with a PlayStation Classic to like make it good. So yeah, you know, it's definitely a decent system once you mod it. Out of the box, it's a piece of shit. Am I going to order Super Mario Superstars? That's the online. You mean Super Mario or Mario Party Superstars? I think I am going to pick that up because I like that everything is online. Hobo mask with the mask, dude. That's what it was like, man. I was just like, you know, we gotta show them the deal. You know, we can't let these kids. You can't let these kids. And they ended up being cool. They ended up being really cool. we would do like, I remember one time it was like 1 in the morning, and my buddy got home from fishing that lived with me, and like he brought all the fish home. I'm like, what are we doing with these fish? He was like, I don't know, I thought we could have a fish fry. I was like, when? He was like, tonight. I was like, yeah, it's like 1 in the morning. I was like, all right. So I went next door, and I was like, yo, y'all got a table? To the neighbors that we knew for a while. And they were like, yeah, why? I was like, we're doing a fish fry. You want in? And they're like, okay. And so then we went over to the kids' door, and we were like, yo, you got some, like, you know, we need some seasoning and stuff. Y'all got some seasoning? And they're like, why? I'm like, oh, we're doing a fish fry. And so we just, like, set up, like, 3 tables in the front of our townhouses and just had, like, this big-ass fish fry at, like, 1 in the morning. It's so good, too. What up, Otaku? Spent an hour trying to get OBS working, still not working right, man, I'm old. OBS can be very tricky. I definitely recommend, like, watching tutorial videos on it. I had to do tutorial videos just to set up this channel because I had forgotten how to do everything. Thank you, Game Warden. Put on a full Predator costume. Start, like, jumping down from, like, the balcony. Meth 85. I don't like meth. I've never done meth. My life is full of strange stories. A lot of weird shit has happened to me. Keith, thank you for subscribing. Gotta cut. Yeah, we cut. And dude, it was like, this was not like top quality fish. A lot of brim. There was like 1 trout. But I mean, if you put enough like fry, you know, if you fry something enough, it'll end up tasting good. Am I excited the NFL is back? Am I a Giants fan? I am a Giants fan. I wouldn't say I'm not as big of a fan of them as I am the Knicks, just because I prefer basketball. But I am a Giants fan. I'm hoping for a good season. Hopefully Barkley doesn't get hurt again. Hopefully Daniel Jones doesn't get hurt. And I think you could have a decent season. The NFC East doesn't look all that great again. Jeremy, eat some bread. What's my favorite kind of fish? Honestly, I don't like seafood, so I will say Alaskan pollock. And if anyone knows what Alaskan pollock is, if you don't know, white Alaskan pollock is what they use in fish sticks. Because I do enjoy fish sticks. Do I watch hockey? No. I went to a hockey game once when I lived in the Carolinas. I went to a Carolina Hurricanes game. And it was kind of fun to watch in person, but on TV, not so much. It's taking forever how to figure out OBS for my PS5. A picture on the monitor, but no sound on the OBS. What kind of capture card are you using? Would I like to see a Legend of Dragoon remake? Yes. Yes, bread helps. It absorbs the alcohol. Green Bay. You can almost get there. Did I finish my 32X collection? I did. I finished that like before I did my book. If Crash was the final Smash character, do you think Nintendo would scrap him and get a new character after what's happened with Activision? No. Because honestly, as fucking horrible as the Activision story is, let's be realistic. In 3 months, people are going to move on to the next thing. People are going to move on to the next, problem. I hope that Activision, when they're talking about accountability and shit, I hope they stick with it. I hope they actually follow through with it. And I hope they actually do change certain things and make sure that those people, and I mean, it's not all of Activision, it was individuals within Activision and Blizzard. So you have to hold those people accountable. But I mean, there's tons of people that work for those companies that just work for those companies that weren't engaging in those acts. So I don't think Nintendo would pull it. When did I live in NC? For like 20 years. Elgato HD 60. Elgato should be very plug and play. Adam, thanks for subscribing. That's what I use an Elgato HD 60. I don't have the S though. So the Mario Golf thing, Crystal Ball, I was gonna do it Thursday, and then the update didn't go live until like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, okay, it's too late. But I did end up playing it, and it's the best course. It's the best course in the game by far. What are my thoughts on the Bulls Heat tampering investigation? It's like, no shit. Okay, all of these teams are doing bullshit like this. All of these teams have been doing it. Like, Lonzo Ball just magically gets a contract handed to him by the Bulls right at the second you could do it. Like, fuck's sake. Make it at least look a little bit, you know, like there was, you know, some thought put into it. Yeah, like the Pokemon Sword and Shield. I mean, and that was actually based on the game. That wasn't based on the company. Like Blizzard, you could look at Blizzard's history and see lots of spotty things in there. You could look at Activision's history and see lots of spotty things in there. Now, these stories do get exemplified by the internet, which, you know, is a good thing that people are knowing like the shitty things that are happening there, but it never really seems to affect sales. You know, the next Call of Duty is going to come out. People are still going to buy it. Bryce, thank you for subscribing. So just to let you guys know, I will probably wrap this up at 8:40 p.m. Eastern time. So we've got about 13 minutes left. So if you got any questions, comments, concerns, donos, whatever you want to do, get them in the next 13 minutes because we got to have a little break between, have a little snack, have a little cigarette before the Spawncast. Love the Blaster Master games. How awesome would it be a fully 3D style game for the Switch? You know, they did that on the PlayStation 1 and it wasn't that good. Am I a scruncher or a folder? What am I scrunching and folding? Are you talking about like pizza? Pizza, I'll fold it. A piece of paper, I'll scrunch it up. Checkers. Very true, Marty. Thoughts on Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania? Looks like fun. Does bread help with a marriage? I mean, there's different types of bread. You know, there's the bread that you eat, and there's the bread that you make bread. You spend bread on this. So technically, bread can help with a marriage, because, I mean, money does help with a lot of problems. Should we expect Metroid Dread live streams from you? Maybe. I'll probably see, like when I live stream games, I don't like to thank you for subscribing, Sierra. I don't like to live stream games that I have to focus on. You know, like a game like Metroid Dread is something that I want to focus on. I want to absorb in the lore. And you know, when I stream, it's not like I'm just, you know, sitting here staring at this monitor or whatever. I'm actually trying to interact and talk with you guys. That's why I like to just play random bullshit on stream, or maybe this piece of shit, but I'm not gonna have to play that. So a game like that, like Balan, if I had to play that for some strange reason, you know, I wouldn't really care because I don't give a shit about the game. But a game I care about, it's definitely harder for me to stream. Yeah, Ubisoft, what happened with them? Have I tried vaping instead? Vaping makes me cough. It makes me cough my head off. I never coughed from a cigarette. What's my love life like? I don't really like love. Like, love's alright, but like, I just like chilling with chicks. Am I going to Retro World Expo in Connecticut in September? Just like too many games, I don't want to commit to it yet because I don't know if I'll already have a place, if I'll be moving, if I'll be in the middle of signing papers. So it's pretty much, the onus is on me right now, and I'm trying to find something beforehand. So I am actively looking for a place to buy during this terrible time to do it. But I mean, you know, fuck it, it is what it is. I haven't checked out Ranked yet in Super Mario Rush. Yeah, Basement Band, don't worry about that. Sweet Anita has Tourette's, and she's huge. Yes, I'm well aware of Crystal Lake. I like them. What's better, love or sandwiches? Sandwiches. You can't eat love. Love doesn't give you nutrients. Love doesn't fill up your stomach. You know, you could go your whole life without love. You can't go your whole life without eating, or else your life will end. Anton, thank you for subscribing. How do you donate? I'll put it here. Maybe it's gonna work. Yeah. It should have popped up a link. There you go. Yeah, I got no super chats. I know, we're getting monetized soon, though. I think you have to have 4,000 hours, and we're at 1,800 hours of watch time. So pretty much these streams help with the watch time. How do I think the Bulls will do this year? I think they'll be middle of the pack. I don't see them as a top team because of chemistry, but I could be wrong. Favorite horror films? I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th films, even the shitty ones like Jason Takes Manhattan. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the first 3 Hellraisers. I love what Jordan Peele is doing with his fucking movies. Jesus Christ. Those Jordan Peele's movies are all Get Out and Us. So good. So good. And I mean, even if you feel that, you know, just from a strictly horror perspective, they're fantastic. And then when you look at like the social commentary that's happening, you know, it just adds another layer to it. I think those movies are just so damn good. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Basement. Do I play Cool Spot on the Genesis? Yes, I love Cool Spot on the Genesis. I once made a song about Cool Spot on the Genesis. I had a little shitty tape recorder, and I recorded the soundtrack, and then I recorded a song over the soundtrack when I was like 9. Who will inherit your collection when you die of old age? I guess the raccoons. Oh, that's a smart idea, Marty, but I don't know, it feels kind of cheap to me. Like, just to do like a stream like that and like I'm not talking or anything. Like, I want to be at least on camera. Freddy vs. Jason was good. Rob Zombie's Halloween's. I'm not the biggest Rob Zombie fan in the world when it comes to movies. I think they're really good, but I don't know. There's always something kind of weird in them that always makes me sort of question like why he decided to go with that. And I think he does things to be weird just for the sake of being weird. Hellraiser was supposed to have a video game for the NES. There is a canceled Hellraiser game that I believe the story is that Color Dreams, the company who published all the Christian games on the NES, was originally going to do a Hellraiser game before they changed over and did those Christian games. Chrome to your dome, thank you for the subscription. Who's the best Spawncast member? Me. D-Dow! $3 donation. Thank you. I appreciate you. Got about 5 minutes left, folks. 5 minutes left, and then I got to take a little break before the Spawncast. I am a single... only child. I was just saying single child. I'm an only child. But I have a cousin who's pretty much like my sister. Scream wasn't bad. You know, I liked Fear with Mark Wahlberg. It's not really a horror movie, but I mean, it's kind of horror elements into it. See, I think Rob Zombie will do good with the Munsters, because the Munsters, the whole thing, I actually just watched, I stayed over at my grandparents on last Sunday, and we watched like a bunch of Munsters episodes. I think the Munsters would work because it's more humor based. It's not supposed to be scary, but if you put a little dark edge on the humor as well, I think the Munsters will work out. Do I put skins on my consoles? Nah, usually not. Sometimes I do. I had skins on my Joy-Cons for a while, but then the Joy-Cons went to shit. What can you order at Burger King that will not give you terrible gas? The original chicken sandwich. Is the Spawncast live somewhere? Yes, the Spawncast will be live on Spawn Waves channel at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We are going here until 8:30 or 8:36. It's currently 8:36. We're gonna wrap things up here in just a few minutes, though. Yeah, dude, Fear was a badass movie. I don't care what anyone says. Fear was tight. Worst horror movie. Watch some of those old Hellraisers, like the ones where, well, they did a fucking Hellraiser that did not. Ooh, we're getting a bunch of subscriptions here. Kamina Days, Carl Blackwell, thank you for subscribing. What was I saying? Oh, they did a Hellraiser without Doug Bradley in it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is great value. Leonardo, thank you for subscribing. Leah's World, I'm doing good. Yeah, we got a full crew. I don't hate Jason X. I don't hate Jason X. Evil Dead does look like a really good video game. Do I think the Munsters are better or worse than Addams Family? They're kind of different to me. Because the Munsters are supposed to make you laugh, but I feel like the Addams Family, the humor is a lot more dry. You know, you're not necessarily supposed to laugh at the Addams Family, but there's funny things that happen. Whereas, like, with the Munsters, it's almost like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink sort of thing. Like, okay, that's the joke. You're gonna laugh. You know, the Munsters had a laugh track. I guess the original Addams Family did too. I don't know. I'm kind of basing it because I'm not super familiar with the original Addams Family show. I watched the Munsters show and the Addams Family movies. Oh, Cannibal Holocaust. Oh, fuck. Ugh. Leprechaun in the Hood was pretty bad. I wear Danzig shirts. What about Misfits? Any other punk rock? Of course I love the Misfits. I love all eras of the Misfits, and I'm one of those weirdos. Jerry Only singing? I like it. Mikael Graves is singing? I like it. Danzig is singing? I like it. I think all three eras have their high points. Other punk bands, most of the punk bands that I listened to, because I was a skateboarder, but I was kind of like a ghetto skateboarder, but at the skate park, they would have all these punk shows. So I would always go to them because, like, I'm friends with the people there. So that's where I was introduced into punk. And, like, it was mostly underground bands that, you know, don't exist anymore, that had excellent names such as Piss Shit Fuck was the name of the band, or PSF for short. I remember there was this one band that had like this dude who looked like Andre the Giant as a drummer. We went and saw them at a skate park, and like he was like this huge dude that was a drummer. He looked like he hadn't bathed in like a year. And like the guy gets on the stage, I can't remember the band's name for the life of me. The guy gets on the stage, he's like, woke up this morning, I had an erection, and then the music just started, and it was like, what the fuck? So you learned a lot of stuff. Thank you, Punky Dudester. All right, so we got to wrap this up. I have to get ready for the Spawncast. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. 350 plus viewers on this channel, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thank you to everyone who asked a question. Big shout outs to everyone who donated. I sincerely appreciate it. And yeah, we should be back next week with another stream. I streamed earlier this week on Monday. My plan was kind of Monday and Thursday streams, but that got messed up because of Mario Golf didn't come out until late at night. And then this upcoming Monday, I think this chick is coming over, so I don't know what's going to be the deal with that, but you know, I don't wear thongs. But yeah, make sure you guys check out the Spawncast. We'll be live at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, Black Flag's cool. Of course, I mean, Henry Rollins.